Chapter 1. The Federation's Greatest Discovery. The Galactic Federation had welcomed over 12,000 intelligent species into its alliance, but one world remained a mystery: Earth. For centuries, humanity had quietly expanded beyond its solar system without joining any galactic organization. Their colonies were prosperous, their trade routes were secure, and their borders were almost impossible to penetrate. No one understood how. Humans did not. Instead, they politely declined every invitation. That only made the galaxy more curious. One day, the Federation Council finally received unexpected news. Earth had accepted an invitation. For the first time in history, humanity would send an ambassador to the Grand Council. Across thousands of star systems, billions tuned in to watch the historic meeting. Everyone expected humanity to reveal the technology that had allowed such a young civilization to become one of the safest and wealthiest powers in the galaxy. No one imagined the answer they were about to hear. Chapter 2. Earth's Unexpected Arrival. The council chamber was enormous. Representatives from every member civilization filled the circular hall. Some species stood over 4 meters tall. Others floated in transparent spheres. A few communicated only through glowing colors. Then the massive doors opened. A single human walked inside. No military escort. No robotic guards. Just one calm ambassador, wearing a simple dark uniform. Her name was Ambassador Evelyn Carter. She looked around the chamber without fear. The entire council fell silent. The Federation speaker welcomed her warmly. "Humanity," he said. "Today marks the beginning of a new era." Evelyn smiled politely. "We certainly hope so." Applause echoed through the chamber. The meeting had begun. Chapter 3. The Council's First Demand. After the formal greetings, the speaker wasted no time. "Humanity has achieved extraordinary scientific progress in less than 3 centuries. Your propulsion systems, energy production, and defensive technologies surpass nearly every Federation member." He paused. "Our charter encourages all members to freely exchange knowledge for the benefit of every civilization." Hundreds of delegates nodded. "We therefore request that humanity provide complete access to its scientific database." The chamber erupted in approval. Many delegates believed the meeting was already over. After all, no civilization had ever refused. Every eye turned toward Ambassador Carter. She remained perfectly calm. Then she spoke 4 words that stunned the galaxy. "I'm afraid not." Silence. Absolute silence. Chapter 4. A Calm Refusal. Confused whispers spread throughout the chamber. Several delegates assumed the translator had malfunctioned. The speaker frowned gently. "Perhaps there has been a misunderstanding." "There hasn't," Evelyn replied. "The United Earth government respectfully declines." A representative from the Orion Republic stood immediately. "You refuse to share technology with your allies." "We refuse to distribute technologies that cannot yet be used responsibly." Angry voices filled the chamber. Some called humanity arrogant. Others accused them of seeking domination. Yet Evelyn never raised her voice. "Our decision protects not only humanity." She paused. "It protects every civilization in this room." The chamber grew quiet once again. No one understood what she meant. Chapter 5. The Galaxy Laughs. The silence did not last long. Soon, laughter echoed across the council chamber. Several delegates openly mocked the human ambassador. "A young species believes it knows better than civilizations millions of years older." Another representative sneered. "Humans fear losing their advantage." That is all. Only a handful of observers remained quiet. They had studied humanity for decades and knew one thing. Humans rarely spoke without reason. Ambassador Evelyn Carter did not argue. She simply folded her hands and waited for the room to settle. "When you are ready to listen," she said calmly, "we will explain." Her confidence unsettled even her critics. Chapter 6. Hidden Human History. Evelyn activated a holographic display. It showed Earth nearly 3 centuries earlier. Cities burned. Satellites fell from orbit. Entire continents struggled to survive. "Our greatest inventions once nearly destroyed us," she began. "We believed every breakthrough should be shared immediately. We were wrong." The images changed. Experimental weapons, artificial intelligence beyond human control, energy reactors capable of erasing planets. "We survived because we learned one lesson." She looked around the chamber. "Knowledge without wisdom is more dangerous than ignorance." The chamber remained silent. No one interrupted. Chapter 7. The Secret Behind Earth's Progress. A delegate finally asked the question everyone wanted answered. "If you refuse to share technology, then how did humanity advance so quickly?" Evelyn smiled. "It wasn't our engines. It wasn't our weapons. It wasn't our computers." Confused murmurs spread across the hall. "Our greatest technology," she continued, "is trust." The hologram displayed scientists from different nations working together. Former enemies became partners. Discoveries were tested for decades before deployment. Every invention passed strict ethical reviews. Progress accelerated because we stopped asking, "Can we build it?" We started asking, "Should we build it?" For the first time, several council members began to understand. Chapter 8. A Dangerous Neighbor. Before anyone could respond, alarms blared throughout the council station. Red warning lights flashed across the chamber. An officer rushed toward the speaker. "Emergency! A fleet of Void Reavers has entered Federation space." The room froze. The Void Reavers were infamous across the galaxy. They destroyed colonies, stole advanced technology, and left entire worlds in ruins. Their fleet was heading directly toward a lightly defended Federation mining system. The Council immediately ordered every nearby fleet to intercept. Reports arrived only minutes later. They won't make it in time. Billions of civilians were now in danger. As panic spread through the chamber, Ambassador Evelyn Carter quietly stood. She pressed a small communicator on her wrist. One simple sentence left her lips. "Earth Fleet, you may begin." Far beyond Federation space, hidden human warships awakened. And for the first time, the galaxy was about to witness what humanity had been protecting all along. Chapter 9. The Silent Fleet. Thousands of light years away, hidden shipyards came alive. Massive human warships powered up without fanfare. No triumphant speeches. No dramatic broadcasts. Only orders. "Task Force Sentinel, launch." Within seconds, sleek vessels vanished into folded space, using a drive unlike anything the Federation had ever recorded. Back in the council chamber, long-range sensors detected impossible energy signatures. "They're moving faster than our scanners can track," a technician whispered. Ambassador Carter simply watched the display. "They'll arrive before the enemy." No one believed her. Chapter 10. The Pirate Attack. The Void Reavers entered the Helios mining system like a storm. Their black warships surrounded orbital stations and demanded immediate surrender. The civilian governor refused. The pirates opened fire. Explosions lit the darkness as defense platforms were destroyed one after another. Families rushed toward emergency shelters while evacuation ships struggled to escape. The Federation fleet was still hours away. Hope was fading. Then Every pirate sensor went dark. An unknown fleet had entered the system. Chapter 11. Technology Beyond Imagination. The human ships appeared without hyperspace flashes or gravity distortions. One moment, empty space. The next, a wall of silver-gray warships. The Void Reavers attacked immediately. Hundreds of plasma cannons fired at once. The human vessels didn't dodge. Instead, shimmering fields surrounded them, bending the incoming energy harmlessly into space. "What kind of shield is that?" the pirate commander shouted. Before anyone could answer, the lead human ship transmitted a single message. "You have attacked civilians. Withdraw now." The pirates laughed and fired again. That would be their last mistake. Chapter 12. The fleet vanishes. The human flagship gave one quiet command: execute. Blue rings of light spread across the battlefield. For a heartbeat, everything became perfectly still. Then the pirate fleet disappeared. No explosions, no debris, no radiation. Every hostile ship had been removed from the battlefield in an instant. Federation observers stared in disbelief. Where did they go? Someone asked. Ambassador Carter finally answered. They're alive. We relocated them to a secure prison system beyond Federation space. The council chamber fell completely silent. Humanity possessed the power to erase an entire enemy fleet. Yet they had chosen not to kill a single one. For the first time, the Federation began to understand why humans had refused to share their technology. Chapter 13. The Council in Disbelief. The council chamber remained silent long after the battle ended. Every screen replayed the same impossible moment. An entire pirate fleet had vanished without a single explosion. Scientists rushed to analyze the recordings, but every calculation produced the same answer. It shouldn't be possible. The Federation's greatest physicists could not explain what they had just witnessed. One elderly counselor slowly stood. Ambassador Carter, what exactly did your fleet use? Evelyn looked around the chamber before answering. A technology that can end wars in seconds. The room leaned forward. For the first time, no one argued. They finally understood that humanity's refusal had never been about power. It had been about responsibility. Chapter 14. More Demands. The victory over the Void Reavers changed everything. News spread across the galaxy within hours. Entire worlds celebrated the rescue. But inside the Federation Council, curiosity quickly turned into pressure. A powerful delegate from the Verex Dominion stood. Humanity has proven its technology can protect billions. That is exactly why it must be shared. Several representatives nodded in agreement. She remained composed. You've seen what our technology can do, she said. Now imagine what it could do in the hands of a dictator, a terrorist, or a civilization that values conquest over peace. The chamber fell quiet. Evelyn continued. Power alone does not create security. Character does. A younger delegate protested. Chapter 15. Earth's Conditions. The council reconvened the following morning. The atmosphere had changed. Gone were the mocking smiles and dismissive whispers. In their place were cautious expressions and quiet conversations. The speaker addressed Ambassador Carter. The delegates listened intently. First, every civilization must agree to ban the use of planet-killing weapons. Second, all scientific research involving artificial intelligence or dimensional energy must be supervised by an independent interstellar council. Third, disputes between member worlds must be settled through diplomacy before military action. A few delegates nodded. Others looked uneasy. Then Evelyn revealed the final condition. Finally, Every species must prove, over time, that it values the protection of innocent lives above conquest, pride, or revenge. The chamber fell silent once again. These were not technological requirements. They were moral ones. The Varix delegate rose to his feet. "You ask us to change the way the entire galaxy thinks." Evelyn met his gaze. "No. We ask you to become the kind of civilization that deserves unlimited power." No one had an answer. At that very moment, deep beyond the edge of known space, the ancient signal reached its destination. A colossal mechanical intelligence opened millions of glowing eyes. After thousands of years of silence, it spoke a single command: "Prepare the harvest." Across the void, countless ancient warships began moving toward the galaxy. Humanity had known this day would come. The Federation had no idea what was approaching. Chapter 16. Pride Before Wisdom. The emergency warning reached every Federation capital within hours. Long-range observatories had detected an enormous fleet emerging from the darkness beyond the galactic rim. No identification, no diplomatic signals, no known propulsion system. The Council demanded answers. A nervous delegate whispered, "Why didn't you warn us?" Evelyn sighed. "We did, centuries ago. But every civilization we contacted dismissed the reports as myths." The room fell silent. Then the Varix representative slammed a fist onto his desk. Chapter 17. Alien Alliances Fail. The Federation reacted immediately. Every major civilization united its fleets, creating the largest military alliance in galactic history. Thousands of warships formed a defensive line around the core worlds. When the harvesters arrived, the battle lasted less than 10 minutes. The combined fleet fought bravely, but every strategy failed. The machines adapted to every weapon almost instantly. One by one, the Allied fleets were forced to retreat. The galaxy finally accepted a painful truth. This was not an enemy they could defeat alone. As panic spread across the Federation, the Council sent an urgent message to Earth. For the first time, they weren't demanding human technology. They were asking for human help. Chapter 18. Humanity Watches. The emergency message reached Earth within minutes. Across the planet, leaders, scientists, and military commanders gathered inside the Global Defense Council. No one celebrated the Federation's defeat. Humanity had expected this day for generations. An officer displayed the latest battlefield reports. "The harvesters have breached the outer defense line." Another added, "At their current speed, they'll reach the core systems in 12 days. The room fell silent. President Elena Hayes looked toward Admiral Marcus Reed. "Can we stop them?" The Admiral answered without hesitation. "Yes, but not alone." Back at the Federation Council, Ambassador Carter received Earth's decision. She stood and faced the frightened delegates. "Humanity will fight beside you." Relief swept through the chamber. Then she added one final sentence. "But from this moment on, you will follow Earth's battle plan." For the first time in history, the mighty Federation placed its trust in humanity. Chapter 19. A New Galactic Strategy. Human officers arrived at the Federation Command Center within hours. Instead of ordering a direct attack, they began evacuating civilians, relocating hospitals, and fortifying key star systems. Several Federation admirals objected. "We should strike first." Admiral Marcus Reed shook his head. "That's what the harvesters expect." He pointed to a cluster of stars on the tactical map. "We're not going to fight where they're strongest. We're going to choose the battlefield." The room fell silent as Earth's strategy unfolded. For the first time, the Federation realized that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't its technology. It was patience. Chapter 20. The Trap is Set. For 3 days, Federation fleets appeared to retreat. The harvesters advanced without resistance, believing victory was certain, hidden inside a seemingly abandoned star system. However, human engineers worked around the clock. Dozens of massive devices were placed around the system's dying sun. Admiral Reed gave the final order: activate the Horizon Array. The machines came to life, bending space itself into a massive invisible barrier. When the Harvester Armada entered the system, the exit sealed behind them. For the first time in thousands of years, the Hunters had become the Trapped. The battle humanity had prepared for generations was about to begin. Chapter 21: Humanity's Secret Weapon. The trapped Harvester fleet immediately attacked the invisible barrier. Every blast was absorbed. Every escape attempt failed. Admiral Reed looked at the tactical display and gave a single command. Instead, they emitted synchronized waves of quantum energy. The waves spread across the battlefield, disrupting the Harvester's shared intelligence network. For the first time in thousands of years, the machine fleet lost coordination. The unstoppable Armada hesitated, and that single moment of confusion was all humanity had been waiting for. Chapter 22: The Machines Fight Alone. Without their shared intelligence, the Harvesters became isolated. Each warship fought on its own. Federation commanders watched in amazement. Their coordination is gone. Admiral Reed seized the opportunity. All fleets, advance. Human and Federation ships attacked together. For the first time, Harvester vessels began to fall. One after another, the once invincible machines exploded into brilliant flashes of light. Cheers erupted across the command center. But Reed didn't celebrate. He stared at a new signal appearing on the tactical map. A massive object, larger than a moon, was emerging from hyperspace. The Harvester Prime Core had arrived. The real battle was only beginning. Chapter 23: The Prime Core. The colossal machine drifted into the battlefield like a dark planet. Its surface glowed with millions of crimson lights. Every surviving Harvester ship immediately turned toward it. Within seconds, damaged vessels began repairing themselves. The Federation fleets opened fire. Their strongest weapons struck the Prime Core and vanished without leaving a mark. A stunned silence filled the command center. Admiral Reed remained calm. So that's their command node. Ambassador Carter looked at the tactical display. If the Prime Core survives, they'll rebuild the entire fleet. Reed nodded slowly. Then we don't destroy the army. He locked onto the enormous machine. We end the mind controlling it. Human warships changed course, heading straight toward the Prime Core as the final and most dangerous phase of the war began. Chapter 24: Into the Heart of the Machine. The Prime Core unleashed a storm of energy. Entire squadrons were forced to break formation as the massive machine targeted every ship approaching it. Admiral Reed didn't hesitate. Task Force Omega, with me. Only 5 human warships continued forward. Federation commanders watched in disbelief. 5 ships against that? Reed answered calmly. We don't need a fleet. We need one opening. Using precise maneuvers, the human ship slipped through the Prime Core's defenses, reached a glowing breach near its center. Reed gave the final order. Boarding teams, go. As armored human soldiers entered the colossal machine, they knew failure meant the end of the galaxy. Chapter 25: The Heart of the Harvesters. The boarding teams advanced through endless metallic corridors. There were no guards, only silence. At the center of the Prime Core, they discovered a vast chamber containing a single glowing sphere suspended above the floor. It wasn't just a computer. It was the Harvester intelligence, the mind that controlled every machine in the galaxy. A cold mechanical voice echoed through the chamber. Organic life is inefficient. Surrender and preservation will be considered. Captain Sarah Kane stepped forward. Humanity doesn't surrender. The sphere began to glow brighter as thousands of defense drones awakened from the walls. Outside, the Prime Corps charged a weapon powerful enough to destroy the entire Federation fleet. The final battle had begun. Chapter 26, Humanity's Final Choice. The defense drones flooded the chamber. Captain Sarah Kane and her team fought their way toward the glowing sphere, every step costing time they no longer had. Outside, alarms echoed across every human and Federation ship. The Prime Corps' main weapon will fire in 60 seconds. Admiral Reed looked at the tactical display. If that weapon fires, the fleet is lost. Inside the Corps, Sarah reached the central console. A message appeared. Transfer control accepted. Cost: permanent loss of all stored human quantum technology. The room fell silent. Humanity could save the galaxy, but only by sacrificing the technological advantage it had spent centuries protecting. Sarah smiled. We never built it to rule the galaxy. She placed her hand on the console. We built it to save it. The transfer began as the Prime Corps shook violently. Across the battlefield, every Harvester ship suddenly froze. Chapter 27, The Price of Victory. A blinding wave of light spread from the Prime Corps across the battlefield. One by one, every Harvester ship powered down. The war was over. Cheers erupted across Federation space. But on the human flagship, no one celebrated. Engineers stared at their consoles in disbelief. It's gone. Our quantum archive has been erased. Centuries of humanity's most advanced research had vanished forever. Admiral Reed closed his eyes for a moment, then smiled. If losing our greatest technology saved billions of lives, it was worth the price. Back at the Federation Council, every delegate rose to their feet. For the first time in history, the entire chamber applauded humanity, not for its power, but for its willingness to sacrifice it for others. The Council finally understood why humans had refused to share their technology. It had never been about keeping secrets. It had always been about protecting the galaxy. Chapter 28, A New Beginning. Days after the victory, the Federation Council gathered once more. This time, no one demanded Earth's technology. Instead, the speaker stood and bowed his head. Humanity, we judged you without understanding your burden. On behalf of the Federation, we offer our deepest apology. Ambassador Evelyn Carter returned the gesture. There is nothing to forgive. We all wanted the same thing, a safe galaxy. The Council unanimously approved a new charter. Advanced technologies would no longer be shared automatically. Every civilization would first prove it could use such power wisely and responsibly. Earth agreed to help rebuild the worlds damaged by the Harvesters, sharing knowledge that improved medicine, clean energy, and peaceful exploration. The galaxy had learned its greatest lesson. The true measure of a civilization was not the strength of its weapons, but the wisdom to know when not to use them. Chapter 29, The Legacy of Humanity. Years passed, and the galaxy slowly healed. Destroyed colonies were rebuilt, trade routes reopened. Worlds that had once distrusted one another now worked side by side. At the center of this new era stood humanity, not as rulers, but as partners. The Federation established the Academy of Responsible Science, where engineers, scientists, and leaders from every species studied not only how to create powerful technology, but how to use it ethically. A statue was unveiled outside the council chamber. It did not depict a human soldier with a weapon. It showed Ambassador Evelyn Carter extending an open hand. The inscription beneath it read, "True strength is not measured by the power you possess, but by the power you choose not to use." Visitors from across the galaxy came to read those words. Humanity had left behind something greater than advanced technology. It had left behind a new way of thinking. Chapter 30. A Galaxy Forever Changed. A decade after the Harvester War, the Galactic Federation had become stronger than ever. Conflicts between member worlds had become rare. Scientific discoveries were shared with care, guided by the principles humanity had fought to protect. On Earth, Ambassador Evelyn Carter stood beneath a quiet night sky, watching friendly Federation ships pass peacefully through the stars. A young cadet approached her. "Ambassador, do you ever regret refusing to share humanity's technology?" Evelyn smiled. "No." She looked toward the countless stars. "Technology can build civilizations or destroy them. The difference is never the machine. It's the people who choose how to use it." Far across the galaxy, the Council officially declared humanity the guardians of responsible progress, honoring not their strength but their wisdom. The galaxy had once believed humanity was selfish for keeping its greatest invention secret. The stars were no longer united by fear. They were united by trust. The end.
If you enjoyed this HFY Chronicles story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next journey across the stars. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next adventure.